You got to have a concept. You have a great concept. You guys are doing it, man, and it's an honor for me to just be, a small rock, man, in your mountain. I'm gonna pop a top in your honor.
Mr. Doc Walker blessed us with his presence and knowledge.
We want to welcome in our next special guest, Haley Skarupa. She's a three-time world champion in women's ice hockey and most recently won Olympic gold with Team USA.
The Cap Stadium Series is definitely my favorite, obviously. I'm a huge Caps fan, I always have been, and to be there at that game with my teammates and for us to bring, our gold medals to there and share it with everyone in this area was really, really special for me, and just the support and it's been tremendous from everyone in this area, and you can feel that there at that game.
Welcome to Sports on the Hill podcast. Hashtag DC Sports Without the Politics with Carol and Robbie on True Radio Network.
And welcome to episode 408 of Sports on the Hill podcast. We are live. The Caps are holding on to the very faintest playoff hopes. We've got a live game between Carolina and Philly going on with Philadelphia on the power play. The game is tied 2-2. If Philadelphia finds a way to win this game, the Capitals season is over. So it's rare that we care so much about another game, but we will be monitoring that, obviously, and I know C4 and Gil and myself are watching that out of the corner of our eye. I'm also watching Monday Night Raw, which I know C4 is a big fan of as well. We've got an exciting night as we sort of lead. It's the week leading up to WrestleMania, so Raw is always very exciting on those nights. And so, first hour, we're going to recap how the Capitals have got here. They actually did really well at home over the last 14 home games, and they've put themselves in at least a chance to make the playoffs here. A bit it being like 12% chance. But a couple of days ago it was 6%, right? So I appreciate Gil and Anna's latest podcast. It was very entertaining this week, and lots of bleeping. I like the breaking news segment. That is a great sound effect. So, and if you want to know what I'm talking about, you're gonna have to listen.
I haven't had a chance yet, but I will be
to this week's episode. But it's been a great show, a great year for the Capitals. I know they may not make the playoffs, but man, we'll talk about it tonight. The Protoss brothers. We'll have to find that nickname for Gil and Anna, but the Protai I like. It sounds like some sort of fighter in Star Wars. So the that line, the 700-pound line, the 6'5" average height line, whatever you want to call it, is gonna cause fits for other teams for years. And man, I mean, has Ilya come in at 19 years old and looks like he should have been there maybe a couple of weeks ago.
Absolutely.
100%. Absolutely.
So I do wonder why we didn't bring him earlier. Gil, do you think that maybe we should have, especially with PLD out, or he needed all that time?
I hate to say it, but I think the fact that he did play pretty much all of an AHL season, all of a pro season, and got his experience against men at a professional level was very, very good for him. He took a lot of lumps. He went through a lot of slumps. Again, don't mean to rhyme, but it happened this time. But in all seriousness, the seasoning he got for the whole year, I think, again, was very, very good for him. And you saw what he did. Now, I don't want to throw cold water on it, but he's not unlike Cole Hudson. You're going to see him make a few mistakes. He is young.
Yeah.
So,
of course,
we've seen his best. We're going to see some bobbles here and there. What I do like, though, is it is taking him a lot less time. And Anna and I talked about this. It is taking him a lot less time to get into his role and be comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, and I think it helps a great deal he's playing with his brother, too. But
yeah,
having watched him develop in Hershey all season, I could not be more proud that my baby pro is up in the big leagues now.
100%.
So they must obviously work out and do stuff together, but they can't have played very many times together, right? Because there's such an age gap between the two, right? Isn't there 5 or 6 years?
Good question.
So I don't know if they would have ever played in any minor league capacity or even school together. So it'd be just interesting that they had that chemistry right away, which was really good to see. But I was kind of surprised, right? Because I can't remember. I mean, maybe on some sort of national team or something, but it can't be a whole lot that they've played together. Because we've had Protoss for a couple of years now, right? So
Alexei is
25.
Yeah, yes. 25, and the other is 19, right? So that's
Ilya's 19.
21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years.
Yeah. Which would be enough where they probably wouldn't play a whole lot together, so.
No. Well, at least not on teams together, but.
Right.
Maybe not, but they still grew up together, and.
Right.
Yeah, there's something to be said for that. They know each other's tendencies. And that plays a lot into it.
I do want to give a little scoring update. We got 3:28 left. It's still tied. We really want the Carolina to find a way to win this in regulation. If they get a loser point but still lose, we're still alive technically. But
makes it
we still have to win.
Yeah, difficult. Yeah, we still have to win no matter what the next game, but it makes it more difficult for sure, because if they even get into overtime that next time they may play for that, then it would be over, right? So you want to take away as many possible clinching scenarios from Philly as possible. So we'll have to hope in the next 325 that Carolina pulls a rabbit out of a hat or something. But let's we've yammered for quite some time. Let's talk a little bit about the Capitals and how they got here. I know that Gil put together this really cool video. Let me see if I can get this to play correctly. You set up all these things and then you have to set up again on the fly.
So this one does have audio.
Okay, I will. Oops. And now I messed everything up, of course. Try this again. Sorry, give me 1 second.
Excuse me.
And that's pretty good right there. All right. Let me see. Do we have audio? We do have audio. And let me move this around. And
No.
Very well done, Gil. Well done. Well done. Yes, I like it. All right. I will. Well, for now, let's leave. I like this graphic up. So
There we
yeah, wild stuff. So I'm gonna just quickly go through the games, and then I'll ask you guys questions as we go through it, and then we will sort of break it a little more detail the last couple of games, and we'll go from there. So the Capitals only have one game remaining. It's against the Columbus Blue Jackets, and we'll sort of lead our way to that point. When we last left off, they were going to St. Louis with a big opportunity, and they laid a big egg, 3-0 in that game, which was disappointing. So much so that it didn't even make the cut of Gil's recap. And then on the next day, I'm sorry, 2 days
So
later,
close.
Utah, went to Utah and won a big game 7-4, and then went to Vegas, won 5-4, then beat Philly, which sets up this whole entire run here, 6-4, and that's how we would end March. And we had a big opportunity going into New Jersey, and then we just blew it, 7-3. So Gil, let's talk about that little segment first of all. Up and down. Think that now at the point of when you lose to New Jersey, there's probably no chance because you assume that you're going to lose to Buffalo, but then you obviously beat Buffalo in a very exciting game, which sets up a huge game against the Rangers, and then we blow it there. So
yeah, very, very up and down, yin yang set of games there. Really thought we're really feeling good after the end of that road trip, and then run into New Jersey. I don't know what happened there. Wasn't feeling good about the Buffalo game. I thought that was going to be a loss. It wasn't. I don't know what they were able to come up with, but that was a win. And then there was that horrible game against New York, and I thought if they were done, they were done then.
Mm-hmm.
That game was that was the cooker. That was just by far the worst effort, the worst game they played all year. I don't know what happened, but the whole team laid just one big steaming turd pile.
Yeah, and it's funny because I
That's one way to put
didn't
it.
watch the game because I was unfortunately busy. And it's funny because when I was listening to your recap of it, you were saying if you're on the other side of these earbuds and you missed this game, you're the lucky one. So I guess I was the
You
lucky
really
one.
were, Robbie.
Yeah.
You really were.
Yeah, so I'm happy
Mhm.
that I missed it. I was a little bit sad. First of all, I was away, so it was difficult to be able to watch that. But the thing I wanted to do is sit down with the kids and watch the Disney Plus version of it, right? Where they could watch Inside Out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was a little bit bummed about that. I was going to try to go back and find it if we had won, right, to enjoy that with them. But with it being this bad, I thought that Tom Wilson being sadness was probably not what we needed to show the
Yeah,
kids.
not
No.
really.
Not so much.
No.
So I did like some of the shots I did see from it. I think that's something I hope that they continue to do to help grow the game. I know that some Caps fans still showed it to their kids, and their kids still enjoyed it. And I'm just happy that they're able to grow the game in these new and innovative ways. So I will give them a shout out to that. I did get a couple of clips and watched it. My favorite was Anxiety was in goal. So I thought that was pretty hilarious. I'm a big fan of the series because it helped grow the game of hockey to the next generation. My kids like hockey because things like that. So I do want to give them a shout out even in a loss. 'Cause I'd love
It's
to see them
going to
lost.
overtime.
And
Chad.
yeah, yep.
Well,
No.
so as long as so from here on out, Flyers cannot get that second point.
Yeah.
Yep. So
So
we gotta hope that Carolina finds a way. They've beaten them in the shootout the last 2 times. So for whatever that means.
Fucking A.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So that was
Sorry,
fun.
Jazz has decided to make an appearance tonight.
There you go. So I'll get Anna your thoughts on sort of the up and down. Like you think you have it and you don't. It kind of reminds me of that old man with the fishing line with the dollar, and they're like you think
Oh,
they have a chance at it, and
absolutely.
yeah,
If I feel like we are in that bipolar Caps fans mode.
Mhm.
My God, but that
It's
that
not get on my
game,
computer, buddy.
like it was. I'm Robbie. I'm glad you didn't see it. And I think I went until probably the third period, and I think I even like posted like I'm done, I'm out, like this is terrible.
Yeah.
There was not we weren't even in the realm of 60 minutes of hockey. It was like who the fuck is this team, and they didn't even show up.
Mm-mm.
It was incredibly frustrating, and then to know that like 2 days later, whatever shifted, whatever happened in locker room, whatever happened with Lil Pro coming on, um, was the vibe we needed, and and that was the Caps that I wanted to see, and that's the Caps I love, where there's smiles,
Mhm.
they're loving each other, and the efforts there. So, but my God, that New York game was like.
It was.
I don't even know
Do
if
we
I have
really
one
have to talk about it?
Yeah, exactly. It was
yeah,
fucking bad.
yeah.
yeah. Davey is eating his sandwiches in chat, and you should all go check out. Davey has a wonderful March Madness bracket for animals. Unfortunately, my pets didn't make it to the final four, but it is very entertaining. And so, not this Friday, but a week from Friday, they'll have the final four and the championship rounds of that. Highly entertaining if you like pets.
My alma mater won the Division III NCAA champs.
Nice. That's awesome.
University of Mary Wash. Well, Mary
Yeah.
Washington College when I went there, but
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
they won
And
the
welcome,
Division III NCAA.
welcome on in, Champ, as well. And so Davey is mentioning that with it going with that
Okay.
extra point there, that Columbus I think is now
There we go.
eliminated from playoff. So even if they were to win against us, I don't think that they can make it because I think that they needed Philly to get no more points. If I remember.
Who's that? Columbus?
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Um,
So it really just all comes down to the Hurricanes
if they can pull
winning
this out.
in the
Yeah.
OT.
Right.
And then Philly losing tomorrow against Montreal
in regulation.
in regulation. Yeah.
Oh my
But
God.
Montreal really needs that win. I will
Montreal
say-
needs to bank as many points as they can.
Yeah, because it's going to be for for home ice advantage.
For home ice, and they've also got a shot at the Atlantic title.
It depends on how Buffalo did today.
Sabres are playing the Blackhawks right now, and that game's tied in the second 1-1. But if the Sabres lose in regulation, then Montreal's got an outside shot to win the Atlantic still. So Montreal definitely has something to play for. Boy, here's so we're in overtime. Zegras is running around and he's doing Trevor Zegras things and didn't score, but wow, that looked scary.
That was really close. That was really close.
Oh my God.
So to entertain us while we're like nervous bullets over here, after that Rangers debacle, they were able to have the solve of all solves in the NHL, which is playing Toronto. And so far this year, we've had Toronto's number. Poor Steve Dangle can't deal with it. It's... and Janaea loves it. You should watch her post game for that one. She's always a big fan of beating Toronto. And we've now shut them out twice this season. LT did, and we won that game 4-0. And just a wonderful, wonderful game. And that was the beginning of the double Protoss, right? That's
Yes.
So that was his debut game. And had a great game. Had an assist.
Come on.
First point in the first game. And man, I don't know. The young future of the team.
Jesus, off the post.
Oh no. But a huge win. Gil, talk a little bit about what that sort of win did leading into the two Pittsburgh games.
Oh, it was the shot in the arm they needed. Anna said it best. It was just, it was as if they were waiting for, that breath of fresh air in the locker room.
Yeah.
That difference, that enthusiasm that Ilya brought. And if you saw all of his pregame interviews, he could not stop smiling. He couldn't stop gushing and talking. And who wouldn't want to play next to that? Who would not want to take the ice with all that energy right beside you?
Yeah, no kidding.
So, and he did not look out of place, not once, and he picks up the assist, almost a goal. Cole Hudson apologizing to him at the end for not passing to him for the empty netter, but nevertheless, still his first NHL point. And later on, he'd make better on that in later games. And that line was just all up and down the ice. And Toronto looked out of it anyway, but they were easily no match for that line at all, and it showed. And I don't know. It was.
I'm not sure many teams are going to be a match for that line.
I mean, that might be our new top line.
It was, it was. It's obviously the beginning of something. We're all hoping will be a very great thing.
Yes,
absolutely,
for sure.
Yeah. David Lana said the Kings game has just started as well. And then, as we just talked about, the Maple Leafs, they just actually scored. They now are up 5-3 with 15:41 left in the third period. And Lightning and the Red Wings are tied the start of overtime. Unfortunately, the Pittsburgh Pirates did defeat Washington 16-5. So those are scores. Thanks to
that I don't get.
Yeah. So.
They sweep one of the best teams, and then they play one of the worst teams, and they can't buy a win.
Yeah.
Gee, sounds an awful lot like another team that
that's kind of why I mentioned it.
Yeah, Davey's rooting for Kopitar to hopefully get one more playoff run, and so that's
Kings are fighting for their playoff life too.
Yeah. So that's why right now they're at 87 points. Nashville's right behind them with 86. Fighting for that last spot there.
Dang.
And,
Yankees are up 8-7 over the Angels right now.
oof.
And the O's won,
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, breakaway.
No!
Oh, great
no!
save, Bussy. Great
no!
save by Bussy.
Oh!
Great save by Bussy. 2-on-1 going the other
Oh.
way, but they're losing. It's in the corner.
How much time's left in your?
About 2 minutes left in the overtime session. Carolina's still got it.
A minute 11 on the app.
Yeah.
1:11 left on the app.
I'm not looking at the app because that. Yeah, I hate it when it jumps ahead on me. So Carolina is going to hold it. About 100 seconds left.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to try one more rush here.
Come on. Oh,
so nerve-wracking to have all of your hopes and dreams pinned on a team that you usually hate, right? It's
Yeah.
really...
Yeah.
I would
Absolutely.
100% rather be rooting for the Canes right now than Pittsburgh.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, exactly. I agree. And
unless Pittsburgh was going to be the one.
Pittsburgh did us a favor. They rested a lot of players over the last two games. They only were able to put up 11 players. I mean, the fact that they decided to rest Crosby at home and basically take a Crosby home game away from hometown fans and give it to the DC fans because he's only going to play one of them. I thought it was a really classy gesture by Pittsburgh because they didn't have to do it that way. And then Malkin and him and all the great Pittsburgh players all do that. I like the fake opening draw where he on purpose gets kicked out of it so that way Ovi has to take a draw, which I think is hilarious.
So great.
And did you see that? Somebody posted the audio of that. Somebody was mic'd up in one of I think it was in the Power Play Point podcast chat. But
okay, I have not seen that, but I would love to see that. Yeah, so really good for the game. I don't know if Pittsburgh would prefer to play us, and we're trying to throw it or not. But I appreciate the lack of effort by Pittsburgh. I mean, they didn't. They played with enough effort, but not too much effort, right? So like it was still an exciting game, but it wasn't like I wasn't that nervous. It was great. I have to give a shout out. So I'm a season pass ticket holder at King's Dominion. And my wife has the Prestige Pass, and so with that we get VIP, and that means you get to go to the VIP lounge, and they've got 7 DirecTV big screen TVs that you can go sit at and have cookies and soda and change it to whatever you want to do. And so for the whole second period, I got to watch it while I was charging my phone so I could watch YouTube TV for the third period. So it was great. I was riding roller coasters and rooting the Caps on, and it was a beautiful day. And
I'm trying to remember the last time I went. I used to work at King's Dominion when I was a teenager.
Oh wow, that's awesome! What did you do for them? Where just a ride operator?
I worked the last year I worked there. I worked on the Rebel Yell. They don't call it that anymore, but I don't know what they call it anymore. But it's the double coaster. It used to be the Rebel Yell.
I remember the Rebel Yell.
It's called the racing coaster right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's called Racer 66 now. So
yeah, because Rebel Yell is offensive to this many people.
Is that right? Racer 66? Is that what the name of it's called? Racer 75.
Racer 75. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, because this many people were offended by Rebel Yell.
Right, exactly. But it was, I was on it yesterday, so it was. It's still a lot of fun. So it was a beautiful day, and we got a lot of rides in. And I was just so happy that it was on TNT. And it was so funny because a year ago, almost to the day, I was watching Ovi break the record against the Islanders, also on TNT, also at King's Dominion, almost on the exact same ride that I was watching it on there. So it was
that's awesome.
It's kind of cool to be.
Yeah, I was sitting in my truck I was watching it, had the phone propped on my steering wheel on the way to the grocery store, and I was sitting in the grocery store parking lot when it happened.
That's funny. All right, we got the shootout going now, right, Gil?
Sorry for my facial expressions, but yeah, they just posted the shootout records of both teams, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't look good.
No.
Although Carolina not gonna
guess who's taking the first shot for Philly? Zegras.
No, of course.
So he's going to do the koozie and come in real slow and then speed up. And wow, look at this. And he does not get it.
Nice.
Bussy gets him off to the blocker side.
Yeah, Bussy got him off stride. All right.
Sticks out the leg and closes the door. So 0 for 1 for Philly. Thank goodness. All right,
Ooh, if he
Jason
had
Blake.
lifted that another half an inch, though. Oof.
Yep. Jason Blake lining up for the Canes. Coming in. Forehand, backhand. Nope. Vladar sticks out the pad, stops him. So 0 for 1 both sides.
Yeah, I'm about 3 seconds behind
I'm
you.
going to turn off the radio feed because they're like 5 seconds ahead.
Yeah, we're all.
I'm just going to watch it.
Stuart and I are watching the same feed, and so I'm a little ahead. But I like Gil's play-by-play better, so I'm being quiet.
Yeah, I'm watching it on ESPN.
All right, so can't see. Okay, Michkov. Oh boy, Michkov is the one taking the shot for the Flyers now. He comes to the right circle, real slow. Deeks and Bussy shuts him down with the pad.
Whoo, there we go. Okay. Yeah, I'm
round
about
2.
I think I'm like 2 or 3 seconds behind you, Gil.
Round 2 is a donut for the Flyers. All right, who's up now? Looks like, Nadeau, who got a goal earlier for the Canes. He'll take it in across the line, left circle. Deeks fires. Vladar with the chest and the glove. 0 for 2. All right, whoever gets this one is the winner. Pins and needles. Pins and needles.
My God.
Let's see. Number 11 for the Flyers. Can never remember. And they're not showing his name, so I don't know who this is. Travis Konechny. Yeah, naturally.
Yeah, Konechny.
Bussy shuts him down, shoots it low. Bussy shuts him down with a double pad. So Flyers go 0-4-3 down to Carolina in the first round. Yeah, Konechny looked like he tried to go 5-hole, couldn't do it. All right, Keandre Miller lining up for the Canes in round 3. And he's got the hot stick. He's on a point streak, I'm pretty sure. Going left circle towards the net. Towards in. Oh! Flips in and it goes flying past the left post.
Way wide.
He tried to shelf it and it was about 6 inches wide over the glove.
Oh, that got away from him.
If he was able to turn it inward a bit.
Yeah.
All right. So looks like Cheryl's namesake Forster coming in.
He spells it wrong,
right circle. Oh no!
Oh shit.
That's it.
Wait, didn't Carolina have to shoot?
Carolina's the second.
Okay, so sorry, I thought that was it. That's right. Philly went first.
Yeah.
So we're at the bottom of the 4th. But yes, Forster does roof it past Bussy's glove. So Carolina must score here for it to go on. I don't know. I can't see the number. I don't know who this is. Left circle dashing in, and Vladar stops it. That's it. That is it. Well, it is over. Flyers clinched the playoff spot, and it's done. It's done. And
shit.
This
doesn't make Gil like shootouts anymore now.
Even worse.
If Philly had won it in OT, I'd be okay. I would be more than okay, because then we can say, well, they earned it. They outplayed them. This is not earning a win. It is not.
This is bullshit.
This is bullshit. To lose a playoff spot this way? No.
Absolutely fucking bullshit.
No. You cannot. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm being a homer here, but I'm sorry. I mean, a chance to play for the greatest trophy in sports, you give it away on a gimmick, on what amounts to a circus like this. This is embarrassing. This is fucking
insane.
Embarrassing.
They need to change a win to be 3 points if we're going to continue to play this.
They desperately need to change the point system.
A win needs to mean more, and then like a shootout win could be 2, or even
a shootout win ought to be nothing. Honestly.
Yeah.
If they insist
shootout
on
win gives
it.
you 1 point, but the people who lose it get 0, so that way there's encouragement to win it in overtime.
True.
I would be amenable to that.
And you get 3 for a win in regulation. Do both of them.
But yeah, I'm sorry. This really makes it look like they backed into the playoffs.
Yeah. It's bullshit.
Next to last game, you rely on the damn shootout to get that extra point.
I mean, the reality is we have more wins than a lot of teams in the league, but because of the loser point, we're out of it.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. Yeah, I read somewhere where it's not so much the loser point. It's that a lot of teams, especially the Flyers, I don't know if they do it on purpose, but they hold off and win games outside of regulation. So, yes, they still win, but no, it doesn't mean as much because the tiebreaker is regulation wins. That's the first and ultimate tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
You look at a team like Los Angeles, no offense, Davey, they have 34 wins on the season. They are fighting for that playoff spot. We have 42 wins.
Yeah.
Could be 43 after tomorrow.
Yeah. But that's crazy to me, you know?
I'm sorry. Well, okay. So if there's any consolation, we can definitely say, yeah, they pissed away points, but Caps did not lose the playoffs. They didn't blow their shot at the playoffs.
Yeah, they tried. No, they
down the stretch.
I think, and to speak to what we wanted them to do, is we wanted them to gel with these young players, use this as an opportunity, make this our playoffs, where this is the experience that they can gain towards next year. And honestly, Gil, I think that if only made the playoffs and lost to Pittsburgh, or they even went pretty far and lost, I think there's a higher chance he hangs it up than this, where now he's got the taste of it. He knows what these players are capable of. I think there's a real chance. I feel there's a bigger chance now today than I did 3 weeks ago when we last talked that he's going to come back for one more season.
This is going to bleed into a whole other long conversation, but yeah. I think I agree with you. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. But that's yeah.
The one thing that I have to give Pittsburgh a lot of credit for them. First of all, I've never seen a video for a rival player before. Thank you for being our rival. I've at no point in over 30 years of being a fan have I ever seen something like that. And I've seen them celebrate people when they go back to a team or come back or other situations for big milestones, but not just we love you as a rival. Thank you for all these years. And we want you to come back for one more, right?
Yeah.
That is
yeah.
So that's a very specific thing that I've just says a lot. And if he liked that even a little bit and knows that he could get that from the rest of the league too, I don't know. He has to think about it for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think this
absolutely.
I don't think he is lying and saying it was a foregone conclusion and he's just been toying with people. I really do think that he hasn't fully made up his decision yet.
Right now, that is his decision. I will think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
Sounds
here's the problem though. He says he doesn't want the fanfare. He doesn't want the farewell tour. He doesn't want XYZ, that all the baggage that comes with it that he's had to put up with this last year and a half because of everything.
Because of the chase and all the rest of it. Yeah.
They're going to, if he does come back, it's going to be for 1-2 years. At the end of this contract, they're going to know, okay, it's his last year. What's he going to do? Extend it one more year? No, he's going to get the fanfare at the end of the year. Maybe he doesn't want it, but it's going to be unavoidable if he does come back.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, he might just have to suck it up and deal with it. I get no pleasure in saying that because I know how humble he is, but if he truly wants to come back, he may well just have to deal with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's a wild thing. I want him to come back. I don't want him to be a distraction. I want him to take more like a third line role. I don't know if he will or can. I mean, I think both him and Crosby both deserve to have that celebration. They saved this entire league. There's no hyperbole about this. Like, without players like him, the greats that we see coming out of Edmonton and others don't, we don't see that story. I
Yeah.
don't. I think
That rivalry saved the league. The league was in so a little bit of history, his historical context. The league was in a very bad place when the both of them were drafted. They were coming off a work stoppage, not just an interruption, a work stoppage. Not since baseball stopped their season in 94 did a whole league decide not to have a season at all, which could have wiped them off the face of the map, sports-wise. And those two came along and made NHL hockey must-see TV.
Yeah, because you have to come out. You have to come back from that, right? You lose a whole season. People need a reason to be reinvested again. Because in this sort of world, and especially when that happened, with the streaming and advent of YouTube and other things, becoming more popular. At the time, hockey was the fourth most popular, if not fifth most popular sport in the country. So there's no given that it comes back at all, right? And you need a rivalry. And of all the greatest point scorers in the history of the game, if you look at the top 10, point scorers, goal scorers, all that sort of stuff, there's never been a rivalry that have played each other so many times. I just want to point that they had their 100th game. That is no rivals ever even get close to that.
Yeah.
Usually. So I love that it could have been 101 and then he skipped one just so it could be perfectly 100, right?
And even 100.
Yeah, there we go.
Right. So I feel very fortunate to have gone to a few of those games between the two, including the famous one I always talk about, the playoff hat trick one, which is one of the more legendary ones of those two. And over the years, I really hated Crosby when we started this podcast, and I've grown to respect him and understand what he has done, and he's done a lot of things right. Like, I respect him more than like a LeBron, for example. Like,
for sure,
100%.
He's not a guy who's trying to heap praise on himself. He's not self-appointed anything. Like, he goes out and earns it.
What Crosby does, Crosby he puts his money where his mouth is, but everything he does is for the love of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, everything he does is for the love of the game. Yeah, okay, he takes the cheap side every so often, and he's the golden boy or whatever. We could say all that about him, and all that is probably true. But if you watch how he plays and his passion and his joy in the game, you have to respect that. You have to. You don't have to like him, but you have to respect the player that he is and what he has done, not only for the Pittsburgh Penguins, but like you said, for the game.
Right. Well, I just think the fact that they've been able to form a friendship is sort of, for me, it kind of reminds me of like Jason Worth. I didn't like him when he was like a Philly, and coming over at Nationals and stuff like that. But when he came over and then like this city embraced him, I kind of, became a huge Jason Worth. In that sort of way, I loved watching Ovechkin embrace him in All-Star games and playing together on the line and having fun, and especially after they both won the cup, right? And so they both have now done it, right? And so because before, up until that point, Ovi missed out on his probably three of his best opportunities of a cup to Crosby, right? So that's and so to finally get it the other way, and they could sort of bury that hatchet in some ways, I think was really important for the game. And I just have a tremendous amount of respect. And like after the game, they were trading sticks and jerseys and stuff like that. Which is the only thing that makes me worried, because he's done that a lot this season. So I really think that this could go either way, with whether or not he comes back or not. I just think in this last week, there's been more nods, him waving the Penguins away, saying, I don't want to shake the hands and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it was so funny because some people were like offended by that. They're like, how would he dare he cast aside a handshake, And I'm like,
darn well he met up with them all later.
Right, he did.
He did. And you can look at that one of two ways. You can either look at it as him being humble again. Oh, I don't deserve it. Don't do this. Or kind of a tipping his hand. You know what? I haven't decided.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to come back. This isn't necessary.
Yeah.
If you're glass half full.
Right. So
Yeah.
exciting. So there's a lot that we have to look forward to. It's wild, Gil. I never knew if I'd get to like a season 11 of this show, and I also never knew like what we're gonna do with the metrics. So I feel like we're starting the season very much like at this like cliffhanger, right? And so it's just
Absolutely.
this interesting time
Yeah.
period in hockey.
Good way to draw more
Exactly.
more people into the show. Why not?
Exactly. So, it's we do have that one game, and now I guess we don't need to preview it with quite a amount of enthusiasm. This is not for all the marbles. I still think that the Capitals will go out there and put on a good show, and play Columbus really well. Gil, what are some of your thoughts, sort of as we start to wrap things up?
Play the heck out of that Wilson double Protus line. No, that's not my name for it. Play the heck out of them. Maybe even Hershey's really hurting right now. Maybe even we see Andrew Cristall. That'd be nice. Get him up for the last game. I don't know if that's going to happen, but
I don't know.
maybe. And then maybe Logan Thompson gets a well-earned break, and they start Clay Stevenson for the finale.
Let's see,
But
what's
yeah, it'll
Hershey's schedule coming
be a
up?
nice way to have the team give one final bow to the season. But again, yeah, they pissed away a lot of points they should not have. But you cannot say that this team in this last several weeks that they lost it by playing.
Yeah. Well, the Bears
And
last
I
game.
will stick to that.
Yeah, the Bears last regular season game is April 19th. So they've got 3 games left.
I just wish they got 2 more points from that New York game. It could be
Yeah.
Or at least one more point.
That could have definitely made the difference.
And they lost to Vancouver.
Yeah. Yeah, there was definitely a
Take
lot
that
of
to
games
overtime. There's another point.
Right, and it's a difficult season. I want to put it out there, especially for a relatively older team at times, this year, to have the condensed schedule because of the Olympics, right? So it'll be interesting next year when we'll have 2 more games, Gil. We've never gotten to cover an 84-game season.
Very
That's
true.
definitely going to be interesting.
And then it's
Yes,
going to be
it
spread out over an extra month. They're starting a month earlier. So it's 2 games, but we're getting a couple extra weeks in there. So it's less time until Caps hockey than we've ever had before. So that's good for people who want that. But it's been a really exciting season. I think Ovi is going to try to get that playoff regulation goal. I mean, because all he has to do is 1 more year, and he's got that one. Why not go for 1 more record? I don't know.
Finishing out of the playoffs is I'm
yes.
Yeah, I'm going to stick to this too. Finishing out of the playoffs is going to gnaw at him.
He doesn't want to end that way.
He does not want. No, he wants the bright lights of playing for the Stanley Cup. It doesn't matter if it ends in round 1 or round 4. He wants 1 more shot at it.
And he knows that we're so close. He can see these young players and the intensity. And if we could just get a power play coach, like maybe we would win some of those games. I really feel like that, more than anything, was probably the difference maker in this season.
Yeah.
Our power play was dismal last year.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Didn't you have Jenny figure out how many power play points we had?
Oh, well, so that was,
or is that?
That was 2 episodes ago. So if you haven't heard it yet, yes, here's the reveal. My homework assignment for her was to figure out, on average, how many standings points the Caps would have earned had their power play been better and contributed a goal here and there. And we worked it out. So at a minimum, they would have gotten something like 1 to 3 more wins, which would have translated to anywhere from 2 to 6 points. There's your difference. So yes, that's the difference. And I will come right out and say it. If Kirk Muller still has a job after tomorrow, something is very rotten in Denmark. And I'm not talking about Lars Eller skates either. Something is very
I can't decide
bad.
who was worse, him or whatever the name of the guy. I can't even remember his name now because he was so bad last year.
Foresight.
Yes. I don't know who was worse.
I don't understand why this is. We seem to have top end talent. I don't know why this seems to be our Achilles heel so
They're not being
often.
managed properly.
Yeah, but why can't we get a
They're-
coach that's better at that? What is the deal? Why is it now 2 coaches in a row? Because that tells me it can't all be about coaching. There's got to be something else that's pulling them down, and I don't know. Maybe it's reliance and expectations on Ovechkin, and not over time. I think that might be.
I think a large part of it is having Ovi out there for 2 minutes and just basically standing there at the blue line until the puck crosses, and then he goes wherever he goes and waits for somebody to get the puck to him.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that's all of it,
And
but yeah, that's a good
that's
chunk. That's a
a
good
chunk of it too. I mean, that's a chunk of it. You know, and making sure the right players are on the ice. I mean, I have no problem with Ovi on the power play. He just needs to not be on for all 2 minutes.
Well, and another case in point. So John Carlson gets traded to the Anaheim Ducks. What does he do after being with them for 2 weeks? He gets a hat trick.
Yeah.
Explain me that.
That's
somebody.
All right, well, I gotta let Anna go because we've used a lot of her time. But Anna, it's been such
Sorry,
a
Anna.
marvelous year.
No.
It's all good. But I've loved having you on. If you do want to talk playoffs at any point in the next couple of weeks, there's always a spot for you.
Thank you.
And thank you for all that you've contributed, obviously, from all the seasons of the first 10 that you've had you on. And I look forward to, if we don't get to see you again this season, to hopefully getting to have you back on in the fall and continue.
Oh, 100%. You guys are amazing. Robbie, thank you.
Yeah,
This experience has been amazing. So it's been great. Cheryl Ann, I know you and I'll chat soon, and Gil, well, just kidding.
Gil.
Yeah, well,
Well,
you might want to change your mind.
Uh-oh.
And here, okay. So, all right. So here's what I have to say.
oh,
Well, it concerns an event that you attended recently.
okay.
Do you remember?
Okay.
Remember what we're talking about?
Yes,
The Haymarket
hockey
Iceplex,
fights
Hockey Fights
cancer.
Cancer.
Yes.
Do you remember what they did while you were there? Do you remember what I promised you?
I do. Gil, you're gonna make me cry.
Kara Given messaged me, said, Gil, check
Shut
your email right the hell
up.
now.
Are you serious?
That email said,
Oh my God.
Gil, you are one of the 2 lucky raffle winners. Your ticket was picked first, so you get to choose between the signed Jason Robertson jersey or the signed Tom Wilson stick.
Oh my God.
I messaged her back and said I would like the stick.
That's awesome. Yes.
Tell everybody what I promised you.
You said you'd give me the stick. Oh my God, Gil, I'm gonna cry.
Gil is the ultimate baby face, ladies and gentlemen.
Seriously.
Yes.
Are you fucking serious right now?
I'll forward you the email if you want.
Oh my God, Gil.
Wow.
Now I have to be on power play for another year.
You bribed your way onto it.
That was your incentive for signing the contract to stay with Power Play Point.
Yeah, exactly.
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah, we had our own OV situation with Anna in case anybody hasn't figured that out.
Right.
Oh my God. Well, okay.
But no pressure. It's still take the summer to think about it.
No, I won't. Oh my God. I'm just like, I'm speechless. Holy shit. Well, I will.
What a free agent signing right here live.
Seriously, what's my contract numbers?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's just amazing. I'm completely speechless. This is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Thank you so much, Gil.
That's awesome.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Holy shit.
for all your years of lifting my little show from nothing into something that
Sarcasm.
the DMV feels like they're making a part of their lives.
I love your show.
No.
Your guys' chemistry is great. I
Yeah,
highly
it's
recommend
phenomenal.
the latest episode for sure. Well, but I really
I will.
appreciate both of you guys, and this has been such a really fun run these last couple years. I'm so excited for you, Anna.
Oh my God,
I had no idea. I was like,
holy, I had no idea either. Like, oh my
Yeah.
God. And like, honestly, going to the Hockey Fights Cancer event was just really to raise money for that event. And, the people who were doing it and the players that I know, and it was amazing how much they raised. Like, that was the whole point. So the Tom Wilson thing was like, the cherry on top, but I didn't think it was obtainable. But holy shit, Gil.
There you go.
And y'all keep talking. My tribal chief's about to come out and talk.
Yeah, I know. I'm sitting here. I'm doing a.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
We got.
do your thing. Oh my God, thank you guys. Sports on the Hill, you guys are amazing, and we will all be in touch soon.
For sure. Well, I hope
All
you have
right,
a great week, and we'll definitely talk soon.
definitely. Take care. Thanks, guys.
Night,
All
mermaid.
right.
Good night.
So wow, what a surprise! I'm happy that you did it on our show. You get her visual reaction,
Yeah.
which is
That was awesome.
I'm sure the audio would have been great, but to see her face is awesome. So thank you for doing that here. But Gil, it's been an incredible year. I know that we'll continue to talk and hopefully break down some of the playoffs together, because I know that you will continue to watch hockey. I know some people will put it on. If the Caps don't win, hockey's dead to them. But I think there's so many great storylines this year, especially. I'm personally rooting for the Ducks. I just love that John Carlson, while we were away, got a hat trick. If people somehow don't know that already, so that's exciting. And then I kind of want to root for Buffalo. What a story for them!
That's an awesome story. Their fans have suffered long enough. I can't think of any group of fans that deserve it more. They are going to be rabid and loud, and it's going to be a sight and sound to behold.
Yeah. So, and there's lots of other great storylines as well throughout it. But so did Buffalo? What is the score in that game? So they're up 2-1. The bottom of the second, it looks. Yeah, the end of the second. So
I believe if they win, they clinch the Atlantic.
Yeah, it'll be
with a win.
Yeah,
yes.
Look at the. Yeah, that's what
they
it looks
do.
like. Yeah, because
they're in the middle of the little Zamboni is doing its circles on the app. So yeah, they're in the intermission there.
Yeah. So there's
they also have 2 games left. So even if they didn't, they have another chance at it against Dallas.
They got another shot at it, and it looks good for them. But a lot of great stories. If you're really a fan of the game, watch your playoff hockey. Going to be a lot of great stories that develop. You got the Battle of Pennsylvania. Can the Oilers make it back to the final again? There's going to be a new champion now that Florida's out.
Yeah,
so lots of great things to look for this playoff. So eyes on playoff hockey, please.
Yes.
Even if the Caps are out.
Yeah, so we'll definitely. I'll talk to Gil and C4 about timing on. I don't know if it will necessarily be the first segment anymore without the Caps. But I definitely. If you guys are interested, would love to potentially have it.
Well, I will watch as much as I can. It's getting into the height of championship season for track soon, so starting next week. So I have a meet tomorrow. I have a meet Wednesday.
On what you need to, but I would love
another meet Saturday, another meet the next Wednesday, then Tuesday and Thursday the following week.
Is Hershey still in it? Like I heard they were like free falling. Are they still going to make the playoffs?
I think they're in. It doesn't say they've clinched yet though, because I'm looking at the standings and they're still sitting in 5th. Providence, Wilkes-Barre, the Checkers, which I can't remember where they're from, and then the Islanders are ahead of them. They've all clinched. Bridgeport Islanders. Yeah, Charlotte Checkers. they're all in. The Bears are sitting right outside. Thunderbirds, Phantoms, and Wolfpack are behind them. And in the North, it's the Rocket, the Crunch, the Monsters, and the Marlies.
So it looks like they've got 6. How many games left? Because they
3.
need. Okay, so if they win all of them, they're in. But they just need a combination of points.
Yeah, so they play Wilkes-Barre in Wilkes-Barre, and then they play the Bridgeport and Rochester at home.
But not to throw cold water on that, but yeah, this is a far cry from the Calder Cup winning repeat teams.
This team has been struggling all year.
They will be lucky to 1, make it, and 2, win a game, much less a round. So
yeah, they've been struggling all year. But I did renew my tickets for next year, so I will be going to games next year. And unfortunately, I'm going to miss the next 2 games because I have a meet on the 18th, and Sunday I've got other stuff going on.
But Ilya can go back, right? Like, can he help them?
I believe he can.
Yes. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he can.
He probably can. He probably will. They need him.
Yeah,
they need him.
I mean, he was.
But do not send Hudson. Do not send Leonard. Don't. They would just.
I don't think
it would be useless to send them.
I doubt they would.
Could they? They haven't played, right? For Hershey, don't you have to play a certain number of games to be able to be sent down?
I don't know. We can look it up, but I doubt that would even be an option at this point.
Yeah, I don't think it would be useless for them. It would not do either one of them any good.
Right. Well,
I am perfectly okay with losing that 1 year for Hudson.
Yeah.
I knew there was a big debate.
Gil, that conversation where we talked about would playing more than 10 games be worth it, and the answer was yes. I mean,
100%.
Yeah,
100%
unequivocally.
Yeah. So that's good. All right. Well, I'm gonna let Gil go. He's put a lot of work in.
Yes. Thank you, Gil.
I appreciate everything, Gil, and we'll definitely talk next week and do maybe a playoff preview show and maybe talk about whether Hershey made it or not, because we'll know by that point, right? Or all 3 games?
Yeah, we should, because
sure.
their last game is Sunday.
Yeah, so we'll know.
So yeah,
so
we'll know by Monday.
Break that down, and C4, if you're around, we can have your thoughts on that as well. So
should be if I'm not working on track injuries.
There you go. All right, Gil.
Well, I can do that on one screen and this on the other.
So, Gil, I assume you're going to have a Swan Song episode?
Well, I'm going to try and get through this as quick as I can. Sorry, Sith and Champ, you've been sitting in Gorilla forever. I'll make this quick. So we're going to do something special for our finale. That's what we now know is our finale. Going to have a regular recording with Anna that we're going to record on Sunday. Probably going to have Ginny on with us unless she wants her own spot. What I'm talking about is I would like as many Caps fans as possible, especially if you haven't been on before. We're going to do a sum up of the season, autopsy style. I'm going to have 3-4 questions prepared on how the Cap season went, and then you're going to have about a 10-15 minute free session to just rant and go through. So last chance, you want your say about the team, wide open door. So talk to me. Let me know. You're already, yes, C4, you are, Cheryl, you are first in line. So just we're going to pick a time and do that. But yeah, anybody who wants to do that, 20, 30, 40 minutes of your time, and we'll air it. And there'll be separate episodes.
Separately, and then you edit it together, or they call into one time slot?
Depends on how long they go. I might cobble a few together for an hour long, but everybody's going to get their own slot. But
you're recording separately with each person?
Correct.
Yeah. Awesome. Because that's just different than how you usually do it. So I just wanted to define it so that way if the time doesn't, I know sometimes the timing specifically doesn't work for an episode ending, but in this case, Gil will work with you. And
this way, whoever wants to has their own time slot, so that
Excellent. I
will also try to find a way to get on that as well. So I've got.
I hope many people will be able to join.
Yes, that's the goal.
All right, sounds good, Gil. Well, I hope that people do that. We'll talk next week and recap how that all went as well. And thank you so much for everything.
You're very welcome. Always a pleasure. Cheryl, good night. Definitely we'll be talking to you again very soon.
Yes.
Robbie, thanks for another great season.
Of course.
And looking forward to more.
Yes, very much.
All right. Take care,
All
Gil.
Right.
Say hi to Mrs. Blue Liner.
Will do.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to bring in Champ and Sith, and they're going to have to tell me what's going on here. I know that the cult of personality is being...
CM Punk is a cold dude coming through the crowd almost Shield-like, man. That's
fantastic.
Cold.
Now he's standing on top of the desk.
The announcer table, yeah.
Oh, this is about to get good, ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on, I'm going to have to unmute the TV, guys.
They
did one thing late Friday night. They brought up Punk's past remarks about Saudi Arabia and doing the shows there.
Ooh.
And McAfee's like, this meant so much to you. Why'd you go, you hypocrite? I was like, that's one thing you got right.
I don't know if I love the Pat McAfee whole storyline. I don't know. I liked him as an announcer fine, but I just didn't know if he needed to be the heel character. There's other characters I would have wanted more.
He's trying too hard to be hated.
I would have loved to have seen KO come out.
Yeah, that would have been more interesting.
Yeah, I think McAfee's trying too hard to be hated, so he's like slowed down his cadence and his promos and stuff like that, and it's just weird.
Yeah, it's just not coming. It's coming across as fake a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, real fake.
Yeah, and so anyway, that's some of my thoughts. But lots of stuff has been happening. Most of the matchups have been already all set. We're leading up to SmackDown's going to have the big. It's not a Royal Rumble. What is it called? It's the
Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
That's what it is. Yes, and that's different than the Royal Rumble because everyone starts in the ring together, right?
Yes. Yes. Everybody will be in the ring. Elimination is over the top rope. Hit both feet hitting the floor. All kind of stuff like that. And the winner gets a huge trophy in the likeness of the late great Andre the Giant.
Do they make a new one every year for it, or is it like that one trophy comes back and it's given away?
That one trophy comes back every year.
So it's like the Stanley Cup. It's got all the yeah, cool. That's exciting. Yeah, so I'm just excited because this is the week. WrestleMania is this upcoming weekend. All the matches have been pretty much set. I'm really excited about Oba. And I think that versus Brock, that's one of my favorite storylines. I like that that's going to be on ESPN, I think. So it's going to be nationally broadcast, even for people that aren't.
Yeah, so WrestleMania Saturday, the first hour, on Saturday will be on ESPN2, but WrestleMania Sunday will be on ESPN proper for the first hour.
That's the first
and then
time
where was it going after that?
On ESPN, like a regular channel, right? Like I don't think that's ever happened before.
Never.
No. Where's it going after the first hour, though?
The ESPN app?
Yeah.
No, ESPN Plus.
Yeah,
the unlimited thing,
Yeah, that.
I have it through my DirecTV stream, so I will make sure.
Yeah, I have it through Xfinity, but I'm still going Nord.
Yeah, I'm going to Nord and doing it on Netflix as well. So I like the Australian feed better. So,
I usually have it on in the background anyway. So and watch when something piques my interest.
That makes sense.
The commercials don't bother me so much.
Yeah,
they give me an excuse to get up and do things around the house.
Right. It's funny because I'm watching this on regular Netflix on my, so I get the commercials all over again.
I just put it up had it on my phone during the broadcast. Now I've got the Yankees game, which they ended at 8 and the Yankees are down 10-8.
So any surprises over the last couple of weeks, Seth, with all the different matches that have been set, going into WrestleMania? Is there something that sort of surprised you, or has it been pretty much what you expected?
Was a great man.
The thing that surprises me, and what they're doing is proving myself and others right. Jade should have gone through NXT instead of being directly called to the main roster. My nephew, one of my nephews, was talking to me earlier, and he told me, he said he wants the Rhea Jade match to go first Sunday night after leaving ESPN, the channel itself. He just wants to get it done and over with because he does not like this at all, build wise.
Yeah, I can't stand Jade. I call her the plastic bitch.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I can't help it. She just looks like she's made of plastic. I just like, no. If you couldn't ask for more complete opposites between her and Rhea.
Yeah, I'm hoping Rhea was able to win that one. Stewart said that his business partner sat by Kenny Omega on a plane last week, so it's kind of cool.
Okay.
So yeah,
that's pretty cool.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I want Punk to retain, but it's funny because I really hated how long Roman's, was champion for, but now I kind of would like to see him, maybe take it. I don't know. Sith, what are your thoughts going into this matchup?
And CM Punk get it. CM Punk kind of shooting a little bit here. He going off his history and everything.
I want Punk to retain. And the only reason why, and I love Bickert, he's a good dude. He can never convince me that a part-timer should be champion with the idea of, well, you don't know when he's going to show up, so it makes it special. I miss back in the day where if you were a champion, no matter what title you held, you had to defend it every 30 days or you relinquished the thing.
Yeah.
Then he's worked his ass off and has earned part-time status. You need to have your champion present on SmackDown, NXT, Raw, over in AEW. You need them present more than just the big pay-per-views. You need them there on a full-time basis. And Punk's been doing that. He's been literally doing a full-time schedule as champion. And for a guy who's 48 still balancing this, it's good.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised. I didn't expect to see him as much as we have, when he came back. So, yeah.
And I think that deep down, the right call was made to have Roman and Punk. You have this genuine discourse that they've fed off to. They've built this really, really well together. Even last week when Roman was off, Punk just was diabolical with the pipe bomb. He literally went in there and it could have been a work, could have been a shoot, could have been both. But it gave people the vibes of that infamous 2011 pipe bomb that closed down Raw one night. And this has been the best match of the two main events. This is easily the best build, Roman Punk. I think that bringing in McAfee and forcing him to be a heel is a mistake when you could have brought in heel Sammy and just did a turn there. But I think there's going to be a double turn this weekend. I think Trick's going to turn into a babyface, and then a lot like WrestleMania 13, one of my favorites, as well as Champs. Instead of Brett being the heel, Sammy's going to turn heel. So you're going to have a double turn this weekend. At least
that would be interesting.
Yeah,
Sammy as a heel. I kind of like that thought, actually. Sammy as a heel. I kind of like that.
I think that you're right with Trick needing to be babyface. I just think that he hasn't, I don't know. He hasn't won me over as a heel yet, and I think that he's like too beloved already with his theme music. So I don't know. I think that you might be onto something there. Champ, is there something that you're looking forward to that may have been a surprise over the last couple of weeks that have come out?
I mean, nothing really. WWE has just been on a really good course when it comes to WrestleMania, and this promo segment right here even with them not, you can feel the passion in these promos right here. You can feel the passion. You can sense it. And this is just the best. This is the best way to close out this build going into Mania.
For on SmackDown, the people that are going to be in the Battle Royale, they're all people that mostly weren't going to be part of the normal storylines, right? It's going to be mostly mid-card people, right? And do we know who's in it? Do they pre-announce it, or is it everybody's a surprise?
No, there was no indication. Oh, that's it. Okay. No, there was no indication on who the participants were going to be, though I would venture a guess to say Carmelo might be in it again this year because he won it last year. And now he doesn't have the U.S. title or another path to WrestleMania except to win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal for a second year in a row.
So this is just a SmackDown thing, though. Do they gain a spot on WrestleMania to fight somebody? No.
They just will have them show up and be like, "Here's this year's Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner," and that's it.
Okay. It'd be kind of cool if they actually got something in like their WrestleMania moment out of it more than just that, even just like a match. So I don't know. I feel like they should, if they win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on SmackDown before WrestleMania, they should get a match on WrestleMania, even if it's on the freaking pre-show. Right, or give
them a match for fuck's sake.
Yeah, or I don't know, like one of the mid card, like the U.S. Championship. They got a shot at the U.S. champion, so something like that would even be cool. Like, just tie in. But anyway, well, because I know you wouldn't want to give away like a major championship, but like that could be interesting. Still, like one of the mid card ones. So
right, yeah.
But anyway, what do we know? So
we just watch it.
We just watch it exactly. But I did like that ending though, that he said that everyone's going to acknowledge him when it's all said and done, and so we'll see. I definitely think that Punk is going to retain, but I think it has the potential to be a really great match.
I think so. Well, considering the build-up, it better be.
Right. Yeah, they definitely put a lot of energy into it. I don't know, this Cody Rhodes storyline. I love Randy Orton, so I'm into it just from that point of view. But like, I don't know. This story just seems so conflated to me. Like, it just doesn't seem that interesting.
It's starting to get a little old.
Yeah. So we'll see.
I can't figure out exactly where they're trying to go with it. You know what I mean? It
doesn't seem like a WrestleMania level.
Yeah.
Thing. I don't know. It feels like something that could be on any pay-per-view.
Yeah. I mean,
I know what it's setting up for Backlash in Tampa. Cody and Jelly Roll versus Randy and McAfee is what I think this is headed for. And I have no problem with celebrities or entertainers being in the ring as long as they train. McAfee definitely trained. Jelly Roll, he's been known to pop in at the PC to train, so he's been doing it.
Not just pop in, stay there.
Yeah, he even cleans up after practices and whatnot. He really puts forth the effort. When we get Bad Bunny from time to time, he goes to the PC, gets that work, and makes sure that everything works out great. These three guys really set a standard for celebrities if you want to get involved in this business and be active in a match and not be just someone who's going to twerk or just stand around looking like an idiot.
Right.
You're getting the work done. I agree with Champ what he said earlier. Isha Speed's going to show out this weekend. They're really hyping like he's a lot like Chuck Daly when he arrived in Detroit to coach the Pistons back in the 80s. He's like, the hell I'm doing here? What do I know? And Elijah Speed's got that same mentality of
So athletic to take that spear and that jump that he did over the charging guy. I mean, a lot of the wrestling superstars can't make that jump. That's a not.
Well, here's the thing about ISO Speed. He's got to show out because the match that he's in, that 6-man, is going to be the very first match for WrestleMania on Saturday. So they're going to be the ones that's going to set the tone for the entire weekend. So yeah, that's why I said I think ISO Speed about to show out because he's taking bumps. It's clearly he's trained. He's taking bumps and things like that. I think he's going to do well. He's going to do well, and everybody's going to be shocked, except me.
Right. Well, I think Logan Paul sort of set the stage that people can come from this entertainment world and be athletic and show up and actually make something of themselves. So I've been really impressed with Logan's work ethic over the last 6 months. I thought he was a part-timer. I'm talking about part-timers earlier before, and
he's
really
he's kind of I don't like Logan Paul in general, but as a wrestler in his role, he's grown on me.
No, and Logan Paul earlier this year actually re-signed a contract, which makes him now a full-time performer. So that's why you see him so much more because he's now a full-timer. Yeah. He's like fully invested in WWE, which
that's cool because he didn't have to go that direction. He could have stayed in a part-time role, and he believes in what's going on, I think. And it's not, I don't think it's a money thing, I think it's an actual love of the game. And and I love the amount of access that they give him, like on the podcasts and stuff like that. And he becomes a really big marketing contributor. And one thing I've got to say, because we've been gone for a couple of weeks, Danhausen, man, talk about what a great role that he's done.
Yo, we tried to tell you. We tried to tell you.
Danhausen.
You are cursed.
When do we get to see him in the ring?
We did.
He had a match on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Oh, did he? I missed it. How did he?
He won.
Yeah.
Oh,
he did.
Excellent.
We won. Yeah,
I missed that one. Yeah. That was Friday night. Yeah,
and it's great. I love that it was against Miz, right?
Even better.
Yeah, so it was. It was
Kit Wilson.
Oh yeah, sorry, Kit Wilson.
Toxic.
Sorry. Right, no, Kit, sorry, you're right.
Everyone is toxic.
But Miz played a huge role in it. I'm sorry, but he was trying to get him and. Didn't, and so I think the reason I said that, and sorry, is I think Miz kind of almost stole that segment in a lot of ways with his facial reactions, and Miz does this a lot, right? Where I think that he elevates any scene that he's in, right, and just a workhouse. So he was a big reason why I think they won. But Dan, what are some of your thoughts?
Oh, I just thought of something. One, Danhausen, he's a treasure. We need to have him protected at all times. He's a national treasure.
Yes.
But Tama Tonga's showing up tonight. I have a theory, and it's pretty sound. Got issues between him and Solo. He doesn't like the direction that Solo is guiding the MFTs, etc. I think Tama Tonga's going to leave the MFTs. And what we're going to end up with possibly is a new faction of him, Shinsuke Nakamura, and a couple of other people that used to be in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Ooh, interesting.
Including someone who has reportedly is supposedly going to be signed at some point. Evil.
Why? I had a feeling that was who you were talking about. I thought I just saw a clip of him at MLW. But
if he was in MLW, then it's too little too late. Unless he's not officially signed. But something that I'm looking forward to, though, for this weekend, when I look at this match card, I'm looking forward to Trick Sammy. Because Rick, I think, could win, and not only with the double turn, but we might get a reunion of a tag team that we had down in NXT 2.0 of Trick and Mello again. and have the Trick Mellow gang again, which wouldn't be a bad idea. And when I'm looking at undercard matches here, and we don't know if Nikki Bella's been cleared yet. So the Bella twins may not be in the four-way. Depends if Nikki Bella can get cleared or not.
Yeah, and the backup is the Kabuki Warriors, which is why they haven't announced Asuka versus Io Sky. Because if Nikki can't go, then the Kabuki Warriors are going to be the tag team that replaces the Bella Twins in WrestleMania. So there won't be no Asuka Io. I mean, they could probably still do Asuka Io. I'm sure Asuka wouldn't mind doing two matches in 2 nights.
Yeah,
I think I said this over the weekend on Friday night on Sports on No Spots. I could see Brock losing to Oba. Then come June, we start finding out what that favor was. Walter's going to retire Oba. I mean, not Oba. Walter is going to retire Brock. At SummerSlam. It's in Minneapolis, which is essentially where he's from originally before he moved to Canada, which was not a bad idea. He likes it out there where it's all nice and quiet. He's got his farm, the whole 9 yards. But it wouldn't surprise me if Walter retires Brock at SummerSlam. And the way they built up tonight with separate contract signings, I thought was brilliant. We've had enough of these guys getting into each other. Let these guys talk and not get physical. That way, over the weekend, they can get physical and put on a banger on ESPN, of all places. My biggest worry about the ESPN matches, for the first hour, is you've got Drew coming on with his match, the unsanctioned match that he's got against Jacob Fatu. That worries me a little bit. I would have had that on the main card on the ESPN Unlimited and Netflix gig, not on ESPN2, because you kind of had to scale back the violence a bit that you would want to see in an unsanctioned match. But I think that could also be a sleeper of a match, though. People tend to are sleeping on this. With
what
the
is
build,
an unsanctioned match for people that might not know?
I can tell you that. I can tell you that real quick. But first off, in Facebook, what up the Rev T, man? That's a real one right there. But
nice, welcome, Rev T.
An unsanctioned match is essentially, in the old school days, it was called a lights out match. It's basically in kayfabe, WWE is not responsible for what happens to those two men in that matchup. Okay. Basically, it's essentially a no DQ, no count out matchup, though it's not false count anywhere. But again, in kayfabe, the company's not responsible for whatever damage happens to the two of them in that matchup. They don't sanction it, everything like that. Hence the name unsanctioned. Though it was called lights out back in the territory days, and they would actually have the lights dim as a lights out match, and it would be, unsanctioned. So it has 2 different identities to it, either a lights out match or unsanctioned match.
Got it. But
what AEW does, and Champ knows this for a fact, is when they have one of those matches, they turn off the lights, then they turn them back on. And it's announced that we've had now, from here on in, AEW's not responsible for what these two guys are going to do to each other. And those matches, it won't go to AEW links, but it's going to be a lot of fun, I think. I'm not going to go into what AEW does because, it goes well beyond the tastes of TVPG, to say the least.
Speaking of AEW.
Huh?
Speaking of AEW, they had a pay-per-view on Sunday.
Oh, that was a swerve.
It was good. No, it was. And the pay-per-view was really good. But as AEW tends to do, it just ran long. But it was still such a good pay-per-view. It's like really hard to knock them on having pay-per-views run for 4 or 5 hours when everything that they put on is just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, Hurt
and
one of the matches was one of the best matches he's seen all year.
Yeah, I mean, Sith and I all probably already have I know Sith does. He has his 3x3 for our review this coming weekend already set in stone. I'm still working out mine, even though 2 of the 3 have already been decided. But I mean, every match on this card, I mean, even the squash match for Camille's return after 529-day absence was still fairly good, because that's usually how they book Camille, is just squashing women half her size in the dust. So, but this pay-per-view, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you can find a way to find it, definitely find AEW Dynasty from Sunday night. It was a very good pay-per-view, but make sure that you have time to sit with it, because it's a very long pay-per-view.
So I have a question. Talking about upcoming schedules, you guys are doing your recap of that on which day?
We are recapping AEW Dynasty as well as TNA Rebellion, which was on Saturday night. That'll be coming up this Friday on those spots, because it'll also be our season finale. We are finishing off our 7th season, and we will be talking about Dynasty Rebellion, and we'll be looking ahead to, of course, WrestleMania 42. So that's what it'll definitely be this Friday, because we'll be doing live reactions to both nights of WrestleMania all weekend.
That's going to be my next question. So then the live reactions to WrestleMania will be on All Things. It'll be on Kick.
All Things.
Yeah, Kick,
everything.
And of course on the Facebook as well. So if you don't follow the no spots, I'll put the Champ Command again. Go check them out on Twitch or also on Facebook or on Kick. It's a lot of fun to watch these, especially these big ones, and so I look forward to. I'll be popping in and out. So the WrestleMania, they both start at what time on Saturday and Sunday?
6.
Okay. So hopefully that'll be after some of the other stuff I have to do. And but yeah, I'm excited, and I'm looking forward to. I know you'll have the full recap of it, obviously, on your season premiere, but I'm excited to talk to you guys next week about your initial thoughts on it as well.
Absolutely.
I'm going to give you a little behind the scenes thing real quick before I go. The 3x3 for Rebellion was easier to come up with, was quicker to come up with than Dynasty. Because Dynasty, as Champ said, even the squash match that Camille had rhyme, it had reason to go along with it. I just hope that after Wednesday we see more of Camille and not either on ROH or just sitting on the bench for however long.
Apparently, the inspiration behind the paywall for Ring of Honor, because they lost to Hyan and Maya World this past week, which gave them that title shot at Dynasty.
But I can tell you that my grade has gone, my preliminary grade to final grade went up for Dynasty. Not sure if it's going to go up or remain the same for Rebellion. I'm letting Rebellion sink in a little bit more, because Rebellion, one of the downfalls to it, and Champ can testify to this, is they had an hour-long pre-show and only one match. You know, that whole day, that night, I was thinking, you could have added another match to the card, or started this at 7:15 or 7:30, even though it's one of your big 4. And
well, I think they had that hour-long pre-show so that Daria Ray could come out and get her shit off. I think that's what that was.
Fun.
That was
which
good,
was
though.
Fun.
Ace Steel was fine. I love when the hometown man came out and irritated Daria Ray and Matt Raywall. I thought that was great. We'll talk about all this on Friday, though.
Yeah. But the running time for Dynasty Champ,
What was it?
Tabulated it like this, including 0 hour, 5 hours and 18 minutes.
Jesus. Yeah, that's too fucking long to watch a pay-per-view, bro. Especially on a Sunday night. If it was a Friday or a Saturday night, I'm fine because I know I don't have to get up the next morning to do anything. But Sunday night, that's rough. But the sickos love it, apparently.
Yeah. Sickos love it. Me, I wish it was on a Saturday night, like what a string of the pay-per-views were for last year for AEW, because Saturday night, all right, cool. Sunday night, I don't mind paying $39.99 on HBO Max for a pay-per-view. That's immaterial. But I prefer a Saturday night thing if you're going to do 5.5 hours of a pay-per-view. Or actually All Out, which was in Toronto, went 6 hours because they wanted to overlap into the first hour of WrestlePalooza and say, let's have a little bit of payback here, type deal. And I thought AEW's last hour of All Out was better than all of WrestlePalooza, which, someone asked me a couple of days ago, would Champ and I rewatch WrestlePalooza? And I said, absolutely not. I said, even if you pass, I wouldn't want to do it. I was miserable watching that card. And the funny thing is that I was live reacting to that card.
Nah, you gotta pay me at least. You gotta pay me at least. You gotta pay me at least $250,000 for me to rewatch WrestlePalooza. At least $250,000. Otherwise, don't bother.
On the level of WrestleMania 4, as well as 1995. Pay us $250,000. We'll rewatch. You're not? Okay, there's your answer. We're not doing it.
For sure, man.
I have a question. Do you guys like the fact that WrestleMania is now a 2-day thing, or did you like it better when it was like a 1-day big event?
I'll let Champ carry the ball first.
I like it at 2 nights, especially because of the fact that before it had to go to 2 nights because of COVID, but also because of the complaints that came in from the previous WrestleMania in 2019 in New Jersey, where people were there for over 8 hours. They basically put in a work shift being at MetLife Stadium for that WrestleMania because it ran so freaking long. And I think that they did the 2-night thing they did it out of a necessity and found out it worked very well, because you can have a WrestleMania Saturday that could be absolutely lit, and then you can have a WrestleMania Sunday that's not. And then flip it around, you can have a WrestleMania Sunday that's, what the hell is this? And then the Sunday could be absolutely amazing and make the weekend. You don't want to have all of that in one night. You want to be able to split the 2 nights and see who can step up on a stage like that, and who's gonna falter. And I'm waiting for them to have a 2-night WrestleMania where both nights are lit. And they had that last year. I want to see if they're going to do it again this year in the same building that they were in last year, and see if they can have both nights be equally awesome.
How are the ticket sales doing? Because I know that when we last talked about it 3 weeks ago,
they're still down, even though Pat McAfee, as part of his big announcement on SmackDown, they discounted the tickets by 25%. And so there's that. But that still's not going to really do much in terms of people wanting to buy those tickets, because it still is expensive as hell to stay in Las Vegas. And people don't have that kind of money just sitting around. There's probably some that do, but there are others that don't.
You can get a 2-day ticket. I'm looking at Game Time right now. You can get a 2-day pass in section 139, row 35 for 2. Is that one? That's 2 tickets, $613 each. $613 each.
Not as crazy as I thought you were going to say. But yeah, it's tough with these things.
And that's for both nights.
Yeah, like I wanted to go to the OV game, yesterday, but it's cheaper to go to King's Dominion and watch it on a big screen in the VIP lounge, and do roller coasters and still enjoy it that way. So it's just a lot of these things are pricing out some of their diehard fans, right? So
Hmm.
it becomes difficult, for sure.
Yeah, well, one of our friends, the Sabres playoffs games, let's see if I can find it. Last night, our friend Jared was like, "Nope, no Buffalo playoff game for me," and we're like, "What?" And it's like they start at. Let me see if I can. So many freaking chats in this thing.
Yeah, it has
They
gotten.
start at ridiculous, like in their top level, which is 300, is like $400 or $500 or more. It's crazy.
That's wild. All right, Seth, I'm gonna let you give your final thoughts, and let people know. I know I think it was part four I saw in the basement. What are we at right
Part four, the mega tier list, is where things really started to get weird. And if you thought that was crazy, Robbie and friends, guess what? Next Sunday, chapter 5, we have a lot of movies that fall under the category of to hell with this. Okay. Um, you've got Halloween 5, Nightmare on Elm Street 5, A Good Day to Die Hard. You have all these movies that I cannot stand at all. And I'm over here thinking, wow. I mean, I'm pretty candid about the about these franchises. Unless there's a reboot or a remake or another movie coming out, there are a lot of films that I would gladly skip and not watch when it goes to that low where I'm just like, I don't want to waste my time. You know, the direct to video phantasm films, like what I've said in the last couple of weeks, the second film ended on a proper note. You didn't have to worry about, but Don Cascaroli was like, no, I want to do more movies. And sadly, the direct to video films were garbage. But anywho, looking forward to this weekend with Champ, to say the least. I love WrestleMania weekend. I agree with him. I would love to have both nights be bangers like they were last year. But I'm going in cautiously optimistic because having Pat McAfee being a forced heel has really soured me because he's not really the type of guy who I would say, ooh, mega heel guy.
No.
He just didn't really
And
move the needle
Jade,
for me. Like, why is he? Yeah, why is he the guy? I just don't know. I mean,
you
They could
can't
have
have The
gone.
Rock because of what he's doing with Hollywood right now. So The Rock wasn't available. I
I don't know
agree with
why
the
they would
idea.
make. I don't know why they would make Pat McAfee heel. I mean, the man just had his first child a couple of years ago, and now he's getting ready to have another one. He has one of the most popular podcast shows around on ESPN. Why in the world would you make this guy out of all guys heel? Especially whenever he made appearances, his music hit, he'd be like, "Let's go," and everybody starts singing, oh, that is the wrong individual to make a heel like that. I'm
For
gonna have
me,
to say
heel.
that's a bad decision right there, honestly.
I like
Huge.
he was like
Hugely
making fat
bad.
jokes on people that weren't landing. Like, it just seems so. It was like a try hard thing. Like, it just
Yeah,
wasn't.
I mean, what he was saying wasn't wrong, but the presentation was just, I don't know, it was rather cringe.
Yeah, because he just didn't believe. Like, for me, the best heels they feel natural. You want to hate them because they're exactly who they are. The Logan
Right.
Pauls of the world, right? I already
Yeah.
hate him, so that makes sense, right?
Yeah,
And
like Dirty Dom, like
Dirty Dom, great
Paul
example.
Logan, like, all
Yeah,
those guys. Yeah.
yeah, but
That's how
like,
I am. That's how I am at Fight Club. I'm
yeah,
natural. I can naturally be an asshole.
right. But that's good. For me, like,
Ditto.
I don't believe McAfee is that guy. He doesn't come off that guy. Like, he's,
No.
I don't know. It looks like it's a
You
good.
know, leave y'all with a note. They announced again for the upteenth time in 20 years that they are developing a remake of Escape from New York, which is a classic film from '81. It's one of the first R-rated movies I saw growing up. Don't I know it's out there. I know we're excited, but measure your expectations, folks, because we've been getting, oh, it's in development. Oh, Robert Rodriguez wants to direct it. Well, now this person wants to. Until they say filming has begun,
Don't hold your
treat
breath.
it like the fourth Kelvin timeline Star Trek film. It's an investor's pitch to see, do you want to put up the money for this movie? For a modern retelling of Escape from New York, which could be plausible, maybe. If you have Kurt Russell's son playing Snake, it wouldn't be a bad idea. But yeah. Y'all take care. Be good to each other as always, or as Bill and Ted would say, be excellent to each other. I will talk to you guys later.
Yeah, I got to roll too, but
all right, well,
it was great talking to you guys, and we will
appreciate it. And if people want to go check out more of C4, you can always check out the All Sports Podcast Network on YouTube.
We're doing our season finale on next Wednesday.
Yes. And
yes, next Wednesday.
I may even try to pop in if I can. I'll be watching both kids simultaneously.
I think it's going to just be you and Gil, though, because I have a track.
Yeah, so it's a great.
He's gonna try, but he's not.
It's a great show over there. Definitely go check them out, and they do a lot of great stuff. And obviously check out The Basement and the No Spots podcast. And this weekend I am also very excited. I'll definitely be popping in and out. I love the WrestleMania time period. So if you want somebody to watch WrestleMania with, definitely put on the No Spots podcast while you're watching. It's like having additional commentators on it, which is always a lot of fun. And yeah, thank you so much, Sith and C4, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, take care, guys.
Later. Take care.
All right, with that, we're gonna switch gears, and I'm gonna put up our UFL graphic if I can find it. But I'll let you talk about. I know it didn't start off particularly well for the Defenders. In the first game.
Yeah, they had a UFL championship rematch with their hated rivals, the the St. Louis Battlehawks. They lost that game 16-10, but one of the more notable things from this game was the fact that our kicker was the first to make the new 4-point field goal in UFL history in this game. So that was the only notable thing out of this game, was the fact that we were the ones that made the first 4-point field goal, which the new rules are any field goal that's 60 yards or more is worth 4 points instead of 3 points. And he made it, I think, from 61 yards away. So there's that. But
Camp, do you like that rule? Do you think the NFL
Yes, I do, because I think it's unique, because nowadays there are only a handful of kickers that can make it from 60 plus with room to spare. Cam Little and what's his face in Dallas. So that's the only two I know that can make 60 yarders with plenty of air under them. But I think it's a very good rule. It's a good reward for having the skill and the strength to be able to kick a ball from 60 plus yards out with a bunch of 300-pound men rushing.
I have another idea. So I like it. I would take it even one step further. If you kick a 50-yard extra pointer, so not a 60-yard, but a 50-yard extra pointer, you get 2 extra points for that.
That would be, I think that, I don't know. I like it, but we're just fans. We're not in the NFL. We're not executives, so those, and we're not the players. And we're not the players. The players will probably look at this and be like, "Why the fuck would we want to do that?"
But I mean, it would take some of like that hard hitting right at the line, but still make it harder, So
yeah,
and another option for getting a 2-pointer on the table if they don't want to, they don't think they can run it in. You still can make it, So
But that would put a lot of pressure on kickers, man. And fans would get absolutely like, because let's say, okay, let's put up a scenario.
How funny if football became more popular with the foot, like it's just like for all these years.
Yeah, but think about this scenario. It's 16-15. Okay, just like the team that was down just scored a touchdown to make it 16-15. And then they're given the option. You can go for 2 from the 2-yard line and run a play, or you can kick a 54-yard field goal for 2 points.
Yeah.
And then they decide to go with the field goal, and then the kicker misses it, and they lose by 1. Yep. Can you imagine? That kicker is going to have to go anonymous because people are going to find out where he lives, and they're going to come there with pitchforks. That's why I said I don't know how popular or how accepted making a 50-something yarder for 2 points would be, you know what I'm saying? Because people already can despise kickers if they miss a field goal to tie a game or to take the lead or something like that. Imagine that scenario, especially in this age of sports gambling. I mean, anyway.
It'd be huge.
Anyway, so the defenders, after that bad showing in the season opener, finally woke up and realized they are the defending UFL champions and they need to play and act like it. So then they went to Columbus. The Columbus Aviators are one of the new teams in the UFL, and they went into Columbus and absolutely curb stomped those dudes. The score was 44-26, and one of the things that I know that really got my attention, and the same thing in the next game against Houston. And this is something that I have preached ever since we started covering the defenders. And what was that, Robbie? Run the football.
Yep.
Well, I think they listened to this podcast, Robbie, because in that Aviators game where they curb stomped them 44-26, they ran for 230 yards and 4 rushing touchdowns.
Wow.
Keep that number in the back of your mind. Then after they curb stomped the Aviators, they have their home opener. They raised the banner. They got Wale performing at halftime. And then the defenders turn around and make even more UFL history just in this game. Defenders become the first team in UFL history to have back-to-back 40-plus games. No other team has done it. They also had the largest halftime leading margin in UFL history, 28-0. And then they ended up finishing the game with the UFL record for the largest margin of victory in a UFL game, 45-7. The Gamblers, another new team in the UFL, didn't score their touchdown until the third quarter. They had Tua's little brother as the quarterback, and apparently, listen to the commentary, Talia Tagovailoa is the third quarterback for Houston. Their first 2 quarterbacks all got hurt, and Talia turned the ball over was their last option. And he turned the ball over, right? Mans threw a pick 6. The defense in these last 2 weeks has looked a lot better than they did in that first game against the Battlehawks. Offensively, in this game, they ran for 164 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. Te'amu has been a little bit pedestrian in these first 3 games as someone who was the runner-up for MVP. He's currently completing 59.3% of his passes, 32 of 54, 395 yards. He has 2 touchdown passes, but the problem also is he has 4 interceptions. And he had a fumble, but he didn't lose that fumble. But that's something that's been very concerning for me, is that Te'amu is not playing up to the level that he was, where he was the runner-up for league MVP, but won championship MVP. So I'm hoping that even though the run game is starting to come alive and they're starting to really get things going, I'm really hoping that Te'amu can start to show what he can do and how he can do it. Otherwise, it's going to be an interesting season. Though right now they're 2-1, looking really good these last couple weeks. Hopefully they can keep it going next week, and because Battlehawks are coming to town, so they got to be able to get that revenge off of the Battlehawks in that season 1 loss. So hopefully they get revenge back, and it'll be a rowdy and ruckus crowd with the beer snake going and everything.
So I was curious if point differential would be important as a tiebreaker. It turns out it's the fifth tiebreaker, so it's not. It does exist, and it is helpful, but it'd be head-to-head first, then division record, which is a little bit weird because there are no divisions this year. There's only one division, so division record and conference record are the same right now. Record in common games, strength of victory schedule, and then point differentials after that. So, and then if it's somehow tied still, then it would be a coin toss after that. So it's the last difference maker before the coin toss. So
yeah,
I do. It is helpful to have these margins of victory there. So I just want to point that out.
Yeah, it's really, really huge having these margins of victories, and hopefully if they continue to have those margins of victory, I think it'll make it much easier for them to get into the playoffs and try to successfully defend their championship if it does come down to tie breaks.
So last year there was a XFL division and a USFL division, right? Now there's just one division. So the new rules are, just for people that don't know, it's the top 4 teams make it to the playoffs. So there is no like top 2 in each division. So I kind of like that. It's more like soccer a little bit, I think that that's kind of a good way to do it. What are your thoughts on getting rid of the divisions? There's only 2 divisions and 4 teams in each. It's probably smart, right?
I mean, yeah, it is, because even if you had the divisions, it will be the top 2 in each division. So it still will be the top 4 either way. So just having no divisions and having it in one single league is, it doesn't bother me one bit, especially if they're only doing it for this 1 year, because they may be planning to add more teams to the UFL, at which point then they can go and do divisions. But I think right now, when you only have 8 teams in a league, I don't see the purpose of having divisions, because you would still have to play out of division games because there's only but so many teams, and it's a 10-week season. So 8 of your games will be against the division, and you have 2 non-divisional games. That would be, it would get redundant.
Expand it a little bit, go to 12 game, league, make have also instead of 8 teams, have 12 teams, so it's 6 in each division, top 4 make it, and add an extra round in there. I think that would be really exciting. Be more like the NFL a little bit.
Yeah, especially because a lot of these players in the UFL are in some ways auditioning to try to make someone's camp, or get into somebody's camp or make somebody's roster. So it would be good to give it that NFL feel. But at the same time, I think the UFL has tried to have its identity be basically the alternative to the NFL. And so I don't know. To me, it feels like a double-edged sword, because they want to be like the alternative to the NFL, their spring football. But at the same time, if you had some elements of the NFL in there, I think it would, give these guys that feel for it, so that if they do make a club, they know what to expect.
Right. So in a couple of weeks, first of all, this upcoming week, they are playing against the Battlehawks, the rematch, which is an important matchup because they're both 2-1 right now. So that's going to be an important one on ABC. And then after that, then they're going to play the Stallions, who have had a bit of a rough season so far. But on May 2nd, the Renegades, there's going to be a noon game on Saturday, and Champ and I are thinking about going to that game. So we're putting up an all call. So if you've gotten this far into the podcast and want to send us a message and want to join us for it, I'm also thinking about maybe even taking Zach, because I thought it was a pretty family-friendly environment the last couple of years that we went. Especially, it's going to be a game for schools, school-age children. I think there was some sort of competition amongst schools that's going to be happening. It's a rivalry game. It's like basically playing the Cowboys version in this league, right? Since it's Arlington, they're 3-0 right now, so they're obviously a good team. This could really decide potentially the winner of it would have a much better chance of making the playoffs. And so I think it could be a really good game. It'll be a noon game again on the 2nd of May. And if anybody would like to join us, let us know. And we're going to probably buy a little block of tickets. I know that we've had other people join us in the past. Unfortunately, CP3 is going to be out of town. I'm not sure. I'm still got to talk to Arun about it, and Tim is out of town as well. But if anybody would like to join us, we'd love to do. It'll be our 3rd annual Defenders game, so it'll be kind of fun for that as well. And again, I'm thinking about taking Zach. So if you want to take a kid to a football game, that's kind of a good time. He's never been to a football game before, but noon games on the Metro are a good time for children. So especially on Saturday, it could be
Absolutely.
good. So yeah. Anyway, contact us if you want to be a part of it. We'll definitely finalize plans, and if we end up doing this, which I'm hoping we do, we'll definitely be talking about it more in the upcoming weeks as well. Any thoughts on sort of? I know the Defenders started off rough, but they've obviously looked a lot better these last couple of weeks.
Yeah, they definitely have turned up the pace and have turned up the intensity. Like I said, defensively, they've been rock solid. Even though, like I said, that game against the Aviators, they did put up 26 points, but still the defense has been absolutely rock solid. The offense is starting to get their stuff together. Again, the run game has been absolutely the catalyst of this offense because of the fact that now I think that the OC, Fred Keiss, has instituted an RPO scheme in their offense. So if the run game continues to be the catalyst of this offense, that RPO game can start to really shine because most teams are going to put 8 in the box, expecting Abram Smith or Deion Jackson to start running through holes and running over people, and that sets up for the RPO where either Tayamo can get out on the option or play action pass and hit quick hitters and stuff like that. This offense is starting to build something of an identity, and that identity will be something that teams will have to deal with.
Yeah, I was just thinking we're so lucky because it's been 3 or 4 years now that we've had the same quarterback running back tandem where there's a lot of turnover in this league. A lot of players, jump into the NFL or jump around from team to team. And I think that you're starting to see the fact that these two have played so much together, in the running back quarterback tandem, which is always so important in the chemistry of an offense, that it's providing dividends for that, and I'm just excited to see how that continues to progress. I want to talk about the other side of the field for just a second. It's cool that Gabe Taylor is making his presence felt. The younger brother of Sean Taylor, and Gabe Taylor has done interviews for this podcast in the past with CP3, and I know CP3 is in talks to maybe talk to him again. What are your thoughts on him? His play for the Defenders so far, and playing with his brother's number for a DC team again.
It's clear that he's playing with using the same number as his brother, but he also seems to have his brother's spirit every time he plays because it's almost like Sean Taylor's out there with him. The young man is very, very talented. He's been doing so well as part of this defense. And I think this is a great defense to be a part of because this defense has been known to be one of the best in the UFL. I mean, they have defender in their freaking name. So I would hope they would have a lockdown, shutdown defense. But he's been great. It's been great to see him. And I hope that he can continue to grow in this game, and hopefully he gets on with the NFL team. Maybe he stays down in the UFL for a couple seasons, really, hone his skills and everything, and then try out for an NFL team. Hopefully try out for the Commanders, is the team his brother played for.
I know. I would love that. What a cool story that would be if at least I hope he gets a chance with them. I feel, was he on their practice squad last year? I know he was in talks with it.
I don't know. I know he tried out, and I think that he did make it. I'm not sure, but
we'll have to check that
I know he was connected to the Commanders.
I know they were
at
looking
one point.
I just don't know how far it got. So hopefully that works out going forward for him. And so there's a Pokemon in chat if anyone wants to get it. Let's switch gears a little bit, and we can talk a little bit. I'll let you choose. Do you want to talk about the Nationals or the DC United first?
We can talk about United first.
Okay.
Really not much to talk about. That's why I wanted to talk about them first, because not really much to talk about. They didn't score a single goal while we were on break. They lost to FC Dallas 4-0, and then this after they had a couple weeks off. And then they lost to New England 1-0. So now they currently sit ninth in the Eastern Conference, which means that if the playoffs were to start today, they would be in the play-in game against New England to get into the actual playoffs. So they're in good shape for now, but they got to pick it up. They've gotten 2 wins, 1 draw, and 4 defeats for a total of 7 points. Their next 2 matches, they have two matches in the span of 5 days. They have the round of 32 for the U.S. Open Cup. They will be going up against 1 Knoxville SC. That'll be on April the 15th, so this coming Wednesday. DC United have won 4 U.S. Open Cups, and they made a pretty good run last year in the U.S. Open Cup. So hopefully they're going to try and make a little deeper run in this tournament. And then 3 days later, they will be hosting Philadelphia in DC at Audi Field. So they have 2 matches coming up in a very close proximity. So hopefully they're able to work through that and can come out with 2 wins, 1 to move on in the U.S. Open Cup, and then 1 a victory over an MLS opponent. But again, not much to talk about in these last couple of weeks. They didn't score a single goal against their opponents, so that's it for DC United. They better not have any more times like that.
Yeah. So I do want to announce that the Wizards were able to clinch the worst spot in the league this year. So they're guaranteed their because remember we talked about they could lose their pick if they didn't fall down. So there is a lot of talk that tanking won't be the same in the future.
God, I hope not, because this was painful. These guys lost 10 of their final 11 games. The only one they won was again when they started their West Coast trip in Utah. They won 133 to 110, and two of the young guys that I really like on this team, Julian Reese and Will Riley, both had doubles in this game. Reese had 26 points and 17 boards, while Riley had 19 points and 10 boards. I listened to a couple of these games during this stretch, and even though the team was losing, this young core, they have so much fight, they have so much passion, and you can't tell that this team was taken with the effort that these young kids were giving out there, especially Bub Carrington, who got a milestone and assist. That was awesome. Congratulations to him. And I even said this to Dave Johnson, who's the radio voice of the Wizards, and he's very interactive on X. I even told him, I said, I really like this young core, and I think when you get Trae Young and you get AD healthy, and have them surrounded with this young core, I think the Wizards rebuild is going to transition into starting to push towards being a contender. Honestly, because I think Trae and AD are going to be the catalyst and veteran leadership that this young core is going to need in order to navigate those difficult waters. But yeah, Wizards, they finished in a whimper, and they finished in dead last place in the Eastern Conference.
It'll be interesting to see where the ping pong balls fall for them.
I bet you it's not going to be a top 5 pick, and then everybody's going to be mad, and I'm going to be like, I told y'all taking wasn't going to mean shit, but y'all don't listen to me.
I think that you might be right. But I am happy with what you were saying, where a lot of these young players, I look at the Capitals and I look at the Wizards, they have a lot of promise for their future, which is really exciting. At least, there's a way out. It's not like it looks like it's going to be bleak for years to come kind of situation. So
right.
Just a quick rundown of how the Eastern Conference, playoffs will go. We looking at the play-in round. Philadelphia's got the 7, Orlando the 8, Charlotte the 9, Miami the 10. So the 9 plays the 10 to remind people. The loser of that is out. So Charlotte, Miami. And then Philadelphia plays Orlando. The winner of that gets the 7 seed, and the loser of the Philadelphia Orlando game plays the winner of the Charlotte Miami game, and the winner of that game gets the 8 seed. Just to remind people how this weird playoff format works that is unlike any other playoff format that I know in existence.
Yeah, this playoff format is weird.
It's very strange. But it works. It makes it exciting. It makes an interesting play-in. It makes a couple more teams more interesting. I'm so curious to see. There's been a lot of different suggestions about how things should go going forward with this format, as well as how to try to stop the tanking. So I think it's going to look very different next year potentially. They're having meetings in the month of May, emergency meetings about all of this. So that where they're only going to be discussing these sorts of issues, which is very rare for the NBA. So I'm interested to see what they get out of that. But going through the 1 through 6, if people are interested, Detroit's the 1, Boston's the 2, New York's the 3, Cleveland's the 4, Toronto's the 5, Atlanta is the 6, and then we'll figure out who's 7 and 8. And then in the Western Conference, number 1 is OKC, 2 is San Antonio, 3 is Denver, 4 is the Lakers, 5 is Houston, Minnesota is 6, and then the weird play-in situation, we got Phoenix will get against Portland in the 7-8 to decide the 7 seed, and then the LA Clippers play Golden State, and that winner of that will play the loser of the Phoenix Portland one to see who the 8 seed is. The loser of that will then be out. Interesting to see what happens. We have seen some movement in these playoff scenarios. Some years it's been chalk where 7 and 8 stay in the same positions, but there have been teams that have moved up from the 9 and 10 spots in. I believe last year there was a team that did that, so you never know. It's not a give me. And then New Orleans with the 11, Dallas 12, Memphis 13, Sacramento 14, and Utah 15. And then in the East, Milwaukee missed the cut at 11. Then Chicago 12, Brooklyn was 13, Indiana was 14, and our beloved Wizards, number 15 in that.
Dead last.
Dead last. So we won't talk a ton about the NBA playoffs, but I will every week give updates for how the series are going, just for people that are interested in that as well. And so we'll be talking about that. And then our last topic we're going to talk about, actually we have 2 topics. One is I'll let you talk about the Nats, and then I will talk a little bit about how March Madness ended up.
All right. Well, the Nationals have started off. They are 7 and 9 to start off the season. They're somewhat in the middle of the road of the NL East. They started off the season taking 2 of 3 from Chicago in Chicago, including Joey Weimer starting what would end up being a near record-setting streak of getting on base to start a career in a new team, and he started off really hot. So they took 2 or 3 from the Cubs. Then they went to Philadelphia and took only 1 of 3 from our dreaded rivals, the Philadelphia Phillies. Then the first home series of the season ended up being the defending World Series champions, the Dodgers, and the Dodgers ended up sweeping us. So that was not fun. Then they took 1 of 3 from St. Louis before they finally got their first sweep of the season, sweeping the Brewers in 3 games out in Milwaukee. And then they went to Pittsburgh and absolutely got curb stomped 16-5. Kay Cavalli was the starter in this one. He went up against reigning NL Cy Young Award winner Paul Skeens, and clearly Skeens was on it today. If the Nats could only muster 5 runs, and the Pittsburgh ended up with 16, but decent start to the season. 2 games under 500, but it's still early and it's a lot left. But the one thing that I've been paying attention to has been the pitching for the Nationals. The starting rotations combined ERA is 5.32. So they're still under. They're sub 6. They have a sub 6 ERA so far through the first 15 games of the season, and then the bullpen, they're just about to hit 6 on the ERA, 5.97. So the bullpen hasn't been doing what it needs to do in terms of keeping runs off the board after the starters are out of the game. So that's something that has to be improved upon, especially. And in the starting pitching has been pretty good, with the exception of Miles Mikolas, who has had 3 starts and is 0-3, pitched 12 in the third innings, and has an ERA of 12.41.
Wow.
12.41. On the flip side, Foster Griffin has had 3 starts and he is 2-0. He's pitched 15 in the third innings, and he has an ERA. He has a sub 2 ERA, 1.76. So he's doing a good job of keeping runs off the board. Mikolas is not. I actually watched the Miles Mikolas start, and I kept yelling every time, "Get this guy out of the fucking game. He is killing us." And he's got to get it together. He's a veteran in this sport, so he knows what he's doing. He needs to get his stuff together. Pitching coach and everybody needs to work with him, because one of the things I've noticed from him also with giving up the home runs, he doesn't have a lot of command of his pitches. And when you, as a pitcher, when you lose that command, you can't find that command, you can end up giving up cookies down the middle for homers, or, issue a lot of free passes because you can't find the zone or can't find the corners or the edges or anything like that. So right now they're for the Nationals, they're in a series in Pittsburgh, taking on the Pirates. They already lost the first game, so hopefully they can get the other 2 games. And then once they get done with Pittsburgh, they come back home to host the San Francisco Giants for a weekend series this weekend. So hopefully the Nationals will get their stuff together and start getting some W's on the board.
I was surprised to see that Pittsburgh's one of the best teams in the league. So I'm not used to that.
I have 2 words for you: Connor Griffin. Connor Griffin is 19 years of age. He was their first round pick in the draft a couple years ago out of high school. And he's so good and such a highly touted prospect. They already signed it to an over $100 million deal. And they just called him up. They literally just called him up, and they already signed it to a long-term deal. And so I think he's been one of the reasons why that team is doing so well so far early on in the season. But hopefully, we'll see if they're able to sustain it for the entirety of the season, because 162 games, you can get hot the first 15, but then the dog days of summer hit. Next thing you know, you're in the basement looking up.
I do want to give a little update on the Orioles as well, since we talked about both of the DMV baseball teams. They won the first series against the Twins, taking 2 out of the first 3. Then they lost the next 2 games against Texas, but they were able to win the third one. And then they lost all 3 games to the aforementioned Pittsburgh, but then they won 3 in a row against the White Sox. And then they took 2 of 3 from San Francisco, and then won today against Arizona. They've got 2 more games coming up this week against Arizona, and then they go and play the Guardians on a 4-game series from Thursday to Sunday. And then they will be playing next Monday, 4/20, at 7:40 against Kansas City. So we'll keep an eye on the Orioles as well as the Nationals throughout the baseball season. And then I did want to talk about, I don't have a March Madness graphic up, but I'll just say congratulations to my dad for winning the March Madness bracket. It was a fun matchup. I was happy to see that Duke lost. It was a kind of a surprising ending. And a crazy thing where one of the players did not need to give up the ball, and he did, and he thought he was trying to pass it down. It was deflected, it was caught, it was thrown up with a prayer for a Hail Mary. He thought the three was to tie, and it was actually to win, and it knocked Duke out of the bracket, which is very exciting. It's interesting. The Big Ten is able to win for Michigan, with Michigan winning the women's, men's, and was it football as well, to have three championships simultaneously, which they hadn't done that before. It was an exciting. There were some really, really great games throughout March Madness, and it was really enjoyable March Madness. And thank you everyone for playing with us in that as well. So just want to give a shout out to my dad. Congrats to him. But it was a really close matchup down the way. I actually almost won it myself, but it was really entertaining for sure.
Yeah, as soon as Duke was out, I knew I was cooked. I was like, you know what? It is what it is.
Right. No, I mean, I picked Duke to hopefully jinx them. I mean, they've got a bright future if they are able to keep both Boozer brothers together. That's they're quite a tandem to watch out for. So I wouldn't be surprised if they make waves next year as well. All right, champ. I think we did it all.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, we did.
Um, I'm excited. What a week one of season 11. We will obviously any breaking news about Ovechkin making any decisions. You can always check out facebook.com/sportsothp. We will always announce it there. We also have on Instagram. You can catch SportsOTHP there as well. Also, our website, sportsothp.com, will always have all the latest podcasts. So you can have all of the first 10 seasons are up there now. This episode will be put up there this week. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for you, champ. I know this is sort of like the end of a season for you with the no spots, and then the new season will start soon. And it's a fun time of year with WrestleMania, and I'm excited to be back.
Yeah, I do want to make a comment. The Caps, I love the fact that no matter what, they kept fighting and fighting until the very, very end. It's great to see a DC sports team that does that, because everybody knows how I feel about tanking or losing on purpose because you feel like you're out of it. You want a better draft pick and all this other shit. I love seeing the fact that the Caps never wavered on their mission of trying to make it into the playoffs. And even though it came down to a shootout, which I knew Gil was going to lose his shit. The moment it went to a shootout, and that was how I was going to determine the Caps be out, I knew he was going to lose his shit. I called it. And sure enough, Gil lost it. Yeah. And I feel like that is a kind of a shitty way for you to know that you're out of the playoffs. The team that you wanted to lose wins in a shootout. That could be heartbreaking. That could be heartbreaking. But I love the fight that they have. Hopefully, Obi comes back for at least one more season and try to get one more Stanley Cup, and then be like, you know what, I'm out. Yeah, so that's where I'm at with that.
The future is great. I mean, we talked about it in that first hour. You know, the young Protos brother, 19 years old. I mean, you must love that. I mean, 700-pound line. These three giants. It's something out of like a wrestling thing. Like 6'4" is the shortest guy on that line in Tom Wilson. Like he's the smallest guy in that line now, and he's got two 6'6" guys around him. They've never had a line that's averaged that kind of height or 700 pounds in total. Like I just think they're going to give. If Tom Wilson's the next captain or whatever, that line is going to give fit. So I hope Ovechkin does come back, but I hope he does it in maybe a little bit of a lesser role. That he lets some of these young guys take the top two line minutes, and he just is sort of that sage veteran that can come in the power play in certain key circumstances. Maybe play 12 to 14 minutes a night, kind of thing, and really help try to pass that torch to the new guys. I think that's their best chance of possibly winning a cup, is where he's not, he is a part of it, a piece, but not the, the centerpiece, if you will, right? Like the young guys kind of have to do it themselves, and hopefully they can find a way to do that. And I'm excited. I think with Hudson, and Leonard, and Ilya Protas, there's the future is bright for Caps fans. I feel better about missing these playoffs than in any previous one. And Champ, when you think about it, this is our 11th season. Only twice did we not make the playoffs. I mean, that's a pretty good run right there.
That's a really good run.
So I'm proud of them, and I think that this extra rest might be the thing that they need, going into the next year, and hopefully they can build some chemistry, and hopefully not get injuries. I mean, I really feel like losing our second line center for big portions of the season really ended up hurting them. And as Gil and I talked about earlier, that power play needs to be fixed. I think that if we had just scored a couple more power play goals, even if we were just average, league average, we would have won, as Gil said, 3 to 4 more games, and that would have been the difference in making the playoffs this year. So it's a bummer to be that, the number one team that doesn't make it. I always joked about the Cowboys being that team for so many years in the NFL. But it stings because you're just so close. But I feel like it saves us having to lose to Pittsburgh in the first round, which I think would have not necessarily been a lot better. I think I probably would have been. I think I'm more happy with just not making it than losing to Pittsburgh in the first round. Hopefully this gives Ovechkin that hunger and he comes back, and that he feels like there's still something left to be resolved. But anyway, we'll announce when we know more about all that. We'll definitely talk about the playoffs. I'm not quite sure how we're going to construct our podcast going forward in the next couple of weeks on whether or not what we lead with. I mean, heck, we may even lead with WrestleMania next week, and switch it up and do the hockey and the basketball on the tail end, because you guys have put in so many hours on the tail ends of these shows. I feel like you guys deserve to get a little bit of an early billing.
Yeah.
So we might switch it around. So stay tuned. I'm not quite sure how we're going to construct it. We've never had a year where the Wizards and the Caps, neither team made it. So I definitely do want to talk about the playoffs as well in both those sports. But we'll also give updates to the Defenders, and obviously the Nationals and the Orioles, and the Mystics and things of that nature as well. But I'm excited to be back for season 11. Thank you everyone for tuning in this week. Definitely go check out the No Spots podcast on Friday and their watch-alongs, as well as go check out and join Gil's open mic call. He's giving you lots of time opportunities to join him over there, as well as joining C4 and the team over there as well, and on their podcast. So lots of fun stuff to talk about over the next couple of months. Definitely Defenders will be the cornerstones of our coverage as we talk about the defending champions there. But I really appreciate everyone for sticking with us for these last 10 seasons and into season 11. And we'll see you guys next Monday. I do want to also, before we go, I'm not going to do I often do a Wednesday edit stream. We're not doing that this week. I may do a pop-up show on Thursday with Zach. He's off of school for parent-teacher conferences. And I might do a video game stream with him during the morning, and since Zara's going to be in school. So stay tuned if you want a Pokemon stream. We might do Pokopia, we may do Legends, we may just play Smash Brothers against each other, or Mario Kart. We may even do like an open call Mario Kart where people want to join us remotely. They can join us in that too. So stay tuned. On Thursday, we may do a gaming stream. And then the following week, I want to say that our trip to Mexico was wonderful. I was able to do 3 awesome dives on the very last day. All the dives had gotten canceled up to that point, but karma worked in our favor. We got 3 incredible dives. One's of underwater museum. One is a lot of stingrays and a shark. It was the second dive. And we went right back there for a third dive. I never do 3 dives in a day. But it was a night dive. We got to spend 4.5 minutes with an octopus. which is a long time for an octopus encounter. You can catch some of the highlights of that over on Gross Scuba as well. And we're also about to start a Gross Scuba Instagram this week. I was going to actually start it today, but I'm planning to start it maybe a little bit later this week. There's the first video is up there, so at Gross Scuba is now available on YouTube and on Instagram, and so I'll be posting more videos over there, but you can definitely check out on my main Instagram as well as on the YouTube that 1 minute octopus video is really cool encounter. But lots of stuff to cover from those 3 dives, and we'll be covering that over the next couple of months. We'll be drawing it out because I've just got a lot of footage that we got. Also, a potential video on my main channel, which is where we're live streaming this right now, which is Robbie Gross on YouTube. I think we did a boat snorkel of a wreck, which is rare to snorkel a wreck because it's like shallow enough that I could swim around it. And so I'm thinking about making a wreck snorkel video, a boat trip video, and hoping to release that in the next week as well. So next Wednesday, not this one, but a week from Wednesday, we'll have another Robbie Edit streams. We'll be talking about that museum, the underwater museum, as well as the wreck snorkel video as well. And I'll be premiering some of that footage there a week from Wednesday. So those are some of the things to look forward to. We'll then also have episode 409, obviously Sports on the Hill podcast, next Monday. I hope that you guys are all able to tune in. Champ, any final thoughts before we head out?
Yes, thank goodness it's WrestleMania week. I cannot wait for WrestleMania. We'll be live stream reacting to WrestleMania this coming Saturday night and Sunday night on Kick, Twitch, and on Facebook. Kick and Twitch is at True No Spots Pod. Facebook is facebook.com/No Spots Pod. We'll start at around 5:55 Eastern time with the start of live reactions on both nights. So make sure you join us. We're going to have a lot of fun. Until then, go Gigenyo, sayonara, and bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. See you guys next week.